Tribal prophecy of a warming climate becoming dire reality in Alaska. A prophecy handed down over the generations by Noah Lincoln's elders in the Nunukau-Yarmiut tribe seemed to be coming true at 4 a.m. Monday. The inside of his rural Alaska home remained stifling hot even after he jumped up from his bed to open all the windows. Our elders used to say someday the winter won't come anymore, it won't get cold like it used to, Lincoln told the Daily Beast later that day. I used to hear it. Noah Lincoln and his wife, Christy Lincoln, live with their 6 children in Toksuk Bay, population 603. That is the locale. I used to hear it growing up, he said. Over the generation, I don't know how they knew, he said. But they knew. He was only partly jesting when he said, someday we might need air conditioners. He noted that air conditioning is not something you hear people talking about in Toksuk Bay. I am talking about it because it's really hot, he said. He added, at least we're saving up on the stove oil. His 2 younger sons are aged 2 and 4, and he watches them starting life in a native land being transformed. You can see them sweating at night, Lincoln said. He reported that the only cold snap this year was a single week in January. The rest of the month and 4 weeks ago fishing, I was hauling in nets and I could work without rubber gloves, he told the Daily Beast. Animals we hunt to eat won't come around anymore, Lincoln said. There'll be difference. The first creature to vanish was the Alaska state bird, the willow ptarmigan. It once flocked in the ptarmigan don't come, Lincoln reported. The first non-native creature to appear was a blue shark. Like tropical, Lincoln said. Long fins, they were rare before, Lincoln said. He figures the moose are fleeing the clouds of mosquitoes generated by the increased warmth and perhaps seeking the same natural air conditioning he seeks when throwing open his windows. So they could have the Bering Sea breeze, Lincoln said. You can't see, Lincoln said. Only a few lucky, he noted in a nostalgic tone, usually when the weather is cold, blue skies. Hunting for muskox is further hampered because the permits run from February to April. The ice at that time, and thin ice, is an even greater hindrance to hunting geese. Lincoln we used to go by snow machine to good spots, Lincoln said. You would outgo across. They now have to go by boat and are restricted to areas within walking distance of the shore. They were reminded. The Lincolns offered their condolences with a heartfelt video on the usually comic Noah Loves Christy page. Facebook friends from Noatak, we are sending our prayers for comfort over the people who lost their loved ones, Christy Lincoln says in the video. We're very sorry from the Alaska Center for Climate Assessment and Policy at the University of Alaska in Fairbanks, prominent climatologist Rick Thoman told the Daily Beast that Toksuk Bay had experienced its warmest spring on record. And this summer is starting out very warm, he said. Thoman noted that even a small rise in the temperature, such as is barely noticed in the lower 48 states, can have a huge impact on life in Alaska, which has been generally warming as a whole since mid-2013. It's not just a few degrees more than it used to be, he said. It's all the changes. He offered a brief explanation of a way small changes in Alaska can become big. The elephant in that room is the change in snow and ice, he added. He said increased melting causes the temperature to rise, which leads to more melting, which leads to higher temperatures, and so on. It's one of those positive feedback loops, he added. He did not need to point out the irony of this particular positive feedback loop's increasingly negative impact. He noted in a sense, the populations and people that have contributed the least, they have the most to lose in a rapidly changing environment, he said. As a tribal prophecy becomes an ever more dire reality, Noah Lincoln and his wife will continue keeping their spirits up with their Native American humor page. He will also got a tip? Send it to the Daily Search for location/city.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. You fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.